Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. Would you please welcome from Japan, taking part in his World Series debut, a two-time World Championship qualifier and Japan's World Cup star, Toru Suzuki! Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the UK Open. He is a former World Match Play champion and, ladies and gentlemen, a two-time World Cup champion and a two-time champion of the world. Let's get this party started. Snake by Peter.
You can always rely on Peter Wright. The Bahrain flag on his shirt and the Bahrain flag on his head. And there it is. And Peter Wright, always one for the occasion. And an opportunity for him to shine on the inaugural trip to the Kingdom of Bahrain. The winner to play Rod Cross in the quarterfinals. But can Toru Suzuki cause a big, big upset? We've seen him at the World Cup of Darts, we've seen him at the Ali Pali, at the World Championship. He's had success on the PDC Asian Tour. He's capable, for sure. The last time we saw Peter Wright on the TV screens in a big TV event, they don't come any bigger than the World Championship, and he exited at the Ali Pali in what can only be described as a whimper.
Yeah, the title defence didn't go to plan for Peter Wright, and neither the performances, the victory he had against Mickey Mansell and the defeat to Kim Hybrecht's what we expect from Peter Wright. He'll bounce back. It's a good thing, I think, that there's a tournament just round the corner for him to some big stage darts. Get
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
his 2023 campaign off and running. And it's Peter Wright kicking things off here. Our fifth match of the evening. We've seen some of the PDC players have a little scare. Luke Humphries and Dimitri van den Berg, certainly. Peter Wright kicking off his 2023 with a max. Toru, only, well, the 8 qualifying players. He was the only one that qualified for Alexander Palace just gone. He lost out to Boris Krichmar. It's a sizable task for him here tonight.
Yeah, good start for Peter Wright. This will be mentioned once today, not again. Not quite sure what darts Peter Wright is playing with, but I don't care. Let's move on. But yeah, you're right. I mean, for a lot of the players, it's just about getting playing again. Peter Wright, by the way, is one of the players who he was talking in and around the World Championship that he will be a little bit more choosy with the events he plays in 2023. As we pause to see if Suzuki can join the 180 club. But I think he just wants to focus on more stuff at home and more important things in life. Of course, his wife Jo was ill, quite ill at the end of last year after having gallbladder surgery, and I think you put a lot of things into perspective for Peter Wright. He loves his darts, he'll carry on travelling and carry on playing, but not quite as much as he used to, because he used to be in everything. He used to play everything.
Yeah, and the good news is Jo's with him here in Bahrain as well, so she's on the road to recovery. Peter Wright, he's been a bit like that last year as well, particularly around the Premier League, isn't it? That's 17 weeks. Oh, he's gone double for double here as we just forget that for a second. Pulled that dart. Yeah, the Premier League is where you've really got to manage your schedule, because there's Euro Tours, Pro Tours, and I think that's the time of year Peter will be targeting, where he'll manage it more than the rest of the year.
That's a good one. Gives him a shot here. Suzuki.
It's going to be at the ball. Great, it's a good effort.
And you require 39.
You would think single 7 here for Peter Wright for double 16.
Getting shot in the first leg.
Finally gets it done. A little bit more uncomfortable than it possibly should have been, but takes the opening leg on throw with the help of a 180.
You rightly said earlier, the players getting kind of back on the horse, getting playing again. There's a different argument for each one. Michael Smith wants to keep it going, doesn't he? He wants to pick up where he left off being world champion. Peter Wright, who had a disappointing one, wants to right the wrongs. Gedwin Price, a disappointing tournament. Rob Cross, who played well, didn't get as far as he'd like, just carry on that form. Dimitri van den Berg. It's just about putting things right coming into the new year, and particularly for Peter, disappointment losing your title under any circumstances, but just didn't perform, did he?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they'll be delighted to be here and in Copenhagen. So one change for Copenhagen to the Nordic Darts Masters. We'll see Michael van Gerwen, who's on holiday currently, replacing Raymond van Barneveld. But for a lot of the players to get back playing, because usually, for the last several years, after the World Championship, that's it. You have a bit of time off, and then you're back in the saddle for the Masters at the end of the month, and then the Pro Tour starts again, but little respite. Good leg this from Suzuki. Hey, he's averaging 107.
Could have had a dart to
scoring well enough.
Had a dart to break in the opening leg. Doesn't need to go the bull route here. Well, I said at the end of the, he's gone for the start. Just needs to tee it up. Oh, decent lead here, Toru Suzuki. His only other World Championship appearance was in 2021. He lost out to Madas Rasmus. Tricky draws when he's got there, but this be the highest caliber of opponent he's had in terms of world ranking.
$133. Toru requires 62.
Not left to finish, so tried his best to. So tops for Suzuki.
22.
No finish for Peter Wright. Just a quick question. When it comes to the top pros, you used to be, of course, Mark. In many ways, is a 171 more satisfying than a 180? Or does it depend very much on the position of the leg?
It depends on teeing up, doesn't it? And it's obviously it's a harder shot because you have to switch targets. But in terms of, you can hit a 180 as you see Suzuki there, level up. The 180 can kind of rattle your opponent, just then it can unsettle the crowd, get them involved, just delay. But the 171, the 177s, if they're teeing up a shot, there's obviously a great deal of satisfaction in laying up a double or a finish.
Well, I asked you when you mentioned Madas Rasmus beating Suzuki at the Ali Pali a few years back, and Madas Rasmus, that was his chosen shot against Gary Anderson at the Ali Pali, and he ran Anderson very, very close, but
40.
Is 171 just marginally more difficult to hit than a 180?
Yeah, it is, because you've got to change targets, haven't you? You can't lay up a guy. Peter Wright would have looked to work off that first treble there. Yeah, in terms of Razmet, he just peppers the treble 19s, doesn't he? I say harder in sense of if you're switching down for a treble 17, you can go 3 treble 19s. And Razmet is one of the few who uses the bottom of the board. Peter Wright, Toru Suzuki, as we're seeing here, just traditionalists staying up the top. I know you didn't want to talk about the Peter Wright darts, but it's generally this shape of dart I feel he has his most success. It's not always that. Sometimes there's this diamond coating on him. But that sort of thin barrel with the short stem, I think, for me, I feel he's the most competent with. But that's how he feels, isn't it? And it'll always be the Peter Wright way.
I'm saying nothing.
I'm not saying any more until tomorrow when he rocks up with a completely different shaped dart. If he gets the job done here, I
say Suzuki's scoring well.
Well, whoever wins has got a sizable task. Rob Cross was very impressive earlier, particularly in the early part of that game, in defeating Nitin Kumar.
95. Peter requires 67.
Tops for Wright.
47.
Toru had a go at 1-2-2 in the opening leg, and it's a similar route. You just stay on the same target. On that time, it was 18. Can't find the treble for the bull. He's just checking. It's not in. He's getting opportunities here, Toru Suzuki. Peter Wright, though, will return with 3 darts at double 10 to restore the lead.
You require 20.
Starts at doubles.
The first dart was always going to make it very, very difficult for him. So it proved to be. So he's going to have 1 dart here, Toru Suzuki, for a break of throw.
Game shot in the third leg.
He's been getting the opportunities and he's taken them. 50% on the doubles, Toru Suzuki, and that is a breaker throw early here. And errors from Peter Wright. He's missed 5 darts at doubles already, but those 3 at double 10, and yeah, a little shake of the head. Overly concerned yet. Peter Wright will be concerned how far away he was on the double 10.
60.
The 38th World Series appearances for Peter Wright. Missed Australia and New Zealand last August after having gallbladder surgery of his own.
100.
Runner-up in 2 World Series finals and has won 3 of these World Series events over time.
Yes, runners-up in the World Series of Darts finals, which is the culmination of the whole series within the first 2 events. We did 2015 and 2016. Since then, he hasn't had a great run in the finals, Peter Wright. But he's always been a feature on the World Series. As he finds maximum number 2 of the match. And looking to break straight back here.
Well, Suzuki represented his country for the first time at the World Cup of Darts, and the first Grand Prix of the new F1 season is here in Bahrain in 6 weeks' time, the international circuit. Literally just over the road from where we are, well, over the home straight, I should say. We're in the Dome at the BIC.
Toru Suzuki, who had a couple of runs to a quarter-final on the Asian Tour last year. The semi-final of the last one of the year, losing out to Paulo Nebrida, who debuted at the Worlds as well. The Asian Tour has really given these players the steel tip experience, and it's been expanded next year as well.
85.
Still having a little bit of double trouble. 1 out of 7 now for Peter Wright. conceded 2 because he is the world number 2.
It's the world number 1 coming up next.
Yeah.
You require 36.
Now there's pressure. There's pressure on this.
18.
He should have gone to the top end of the bed, because that second dart he threw, you could just see there from that camera angle, it just kicked left. It blocked that bottom part of the bed, and chances to win every leg, Peter Wright. Could find himself 3-1 down.
16.
Well, they were huge darts. He knows it. Peter Wright knows it as well. That's a real let-off for Peter Wright.
Still, though. 1 dart, double 4. Gets there in the end. Peter Wright missed 10 darts at doubles. Yeah, a wipe of the brow there. He's a relieved man. 2 apiece. He breaks straight back, but he made heavy weather of that leg, Peter Wright.
Yeah, got away with it. He knows it. Suzuki himself missing 3 darts to go 3-1 up. And I think Peter Wright had just said to himself, come on. It's time to pick up the pace.
Toru Suzuki, how can he respond now? Because that's a massive setback.
82.
3 darts for a 3-1 lead. This is more like it from Peter Wright. Is it max number 3? It is. The scoring's been pretty good for Peter Wright. Finishing has been the main reason why he's not a little bit more comfortable in this match, Peter, but he's got a healthy lead in this 5th leg.
$145.
I think he's got the wake-up call, do you?
He's left 36 again.
But this time after 9.
Yeah, that's... Well, after 12 in the last leg, it was a pretty good setup in the previous leg.
97.
Got a healthy cushion here.
36.
He pins his first dart, yeah, a real good leg for Peter Wright. By pinning that first dart, just really asserted himself in the tie.
Game on.
It's more like it from the 2-time world champion.
Give us a little insight as a, say, former top player. I was talking with Dan earlier in the Gerwin Price game
40.
about him not changing and just being as he is, but perhaps trying to enjoy it a little bit more, perhaps having a little bit more fun. I mean, could you ever go up there and actually have fun when you were playing?
You can, but you've got to play well, haven't you, to have fun. And if you go up there with a relaxed attitude, thinking I'm going to enjoy it, but you have a wobbly first few legs, you bring the pressure, don't you? I mean, for Gerwin Price, he documented it really well. He was feeling the pressure of defending the prize money. It's come and gone now. The prize money's gone off his ranking. He can now just look to build in 2023. He seems in good spirits here, to be fair.
Absolutely. But I'm just interested in the mindset, you know, of obviously it's serious business when you go up there, but can you enjoy it?
Like I said, if you play well, that was always for me. To enjoy it, you need to play well. It's hard to sort of stutter through a game and enjoy a close, nervy game when you know you're not playing at the best of your ability.
190.
A really good switch from Suzuki.
It's more like it. 3 in the last 3 legs from Peter Wright.
And now those missed darts for the 3-1 lead are looking more and more costly for Suzuki.
81.
Well, that'd be a real disappointment, because he really should have backed up a 10-darter with an 11-dart leg. Plenty in hand, of course, but You know, he will say that that's not the point, but it's sort of turned it around. I was going to say the last two legs are similar to that amazing run that he got on when he beat Michael Smith at the Ali Pali to win the World Championship.
He did it during the Grand Slam as well, 2 months prior to that. Still needs to address this double situation. There is a cushion now for Peter Wright. 3 successive legs for Peter Wright, and getting better as the game goes on. Average above 95 now for Peter Wright. His average for the year last year was 97. He'll look to improve on that.
Yeah, 4 180s for Peter Wright.
140.
Very little movement.
Yeah, it's a good solid stance that.
97.
Peter Wright, just a slightly raised heel on the back foot. Not a great deal of movement there either. Darts lands slightly flatter in the board.
1. $95.
Not the time. Just when there's a little opening in that leg for Toru.
A little chink.
Just cannoned off the flight of the dart. It was in the 5, and it's giving Peter Wright.
Well, that opening has been slammed shut.
Peter Wright opting not to switch at a treble 19, just wanted to fill it up again. It's been good for Peter, this. Didn't start well, but from kind of the 4th leg onwards, it's more like the Peter Wright we used to see, and not the Peter Wright we saw at Alexandra Palace last month.
What a good dart that is. Is that the guide for him?
57.
Well,
Toru, you require 90.
the doubling woes continue. 15 missed darts at double, and he's still averaging nearly 96, but a chance here for Suzuki.
Decisions to make here. It's looking like he's staying on the treble, trying to find it for double 8. Maybe that first dart made it slightly over because his darts land slightly down, and going over to 16 to leave tops. Does leave 24, but Peter Wright won the previous leg on double 6. Oh, that one was nowhere near double 6. He's creating problems for himself here, Peter.
6.
More missed darts at doubles. The tally's now 18.
24.
Cause of concern for Peter Wright.
Game shot in the 7th leg. Toru Suzuki.
Yeah, fair play to Suzuki.
8th leg, Toru to throw first.
He didn't have any intention of leaving double 12.
Game on.
His last dart hit the double 16, hence he left 24. 4 missed darts later from Peter Wright. 4 out of 22 at the double for the world number 2.
You'd still expect Peter Wright, with his experience, to navigate his way through this match. Well, he will know where the problems have arisen for him. 4 180s in the match. Could be number 5 here. The scoring has been pretty good, and there it is, number 5. Oh, Peter.
We saw a little earlier Dimitri Vandenberg, 8 180s, but was taken to a last leg decider by the man from the Philippines, Alain Abiabi.
Survived the match dart.
Survived the match dart at tops as well, despite those maximums.
1.
It was good seeing Abiabi getting greeted in the back room by his friends and family. They greeted him as if he'd won the game, and it was good to see. And that's what the World Series is all about, creating opportunities. Hope to see him back.
85.
This will give him the boost to sort of play a lot more Steel tip. I was very impressed with him, the way he dealt with Dimitri Van den Berg, just hung around in the match. It was a great way to start the event here in Bahrain.
90.
Now, will he put on a show here, Peter Wright?
100. Where do you require 100?
Trouble 17, tops. Yep.
It looks like he's coming down. It's generally the way now, isn't it?
Oh, he wants it. Go on. Tops.
He's not happy with the range on the double, is he? Whilst that wasn't a missed start, a double for the leg, he wasn't happy with how low he was on the treble 20. A lot to improve on for Peter Wright. And in the midst of all that, he's still averaging around about 95.
Maybe you require 60.
Can he get it first time this time?
Game shot in the 8th
And
leg.
he can.
Peter Wright.
And he breaks back.
9th leg.
And he's
Peter
now
gets
throwing for a
first.
place
Game on.
in the quarterfinal to take on Rob Cross. You know, all the challengers have had a real dig tonight, and we've seen some standout moments along the way. Yeah, only a couple of legs from Lim, but he still made an impression, still pushed Getawin Price. Suzuki here. Ko, the man from Hong Kong as well, against Luke Humphreys.
Nitin Kumar, I know he was outplayed for a lot of that game, but he's carrying an injury to his finger, wasn't he? But still managed to get himself a couple of legs and play better towards the end of that tie. So he had a great account of themselves. We almost lost Dimitri Van den Berg. Still got Raymond van Barneveld, Johnny Clayton, and the new world champion Michael Smith to come this evening.
Yeah, but all these players will hopefully get another chance at it at some stage down the line. As we talked about before, the PDC would love to go back to Japan and China and explore new territories as well in the Asian market.
60.
Bit of a flyer on the last one there for Toru, and the tie could be getting away from him here, but a massive opportunity in the 4th leg where he had 3 clean to lead, 3-1. And whilst there's been woes on the doubles for Peter Wright, you've always felt he'd have a bit too much here, and he's getting closer and closer to finishing the job. As we've already mentioned, it'll be Rob Cross who awaits. A tasty quarter-final, that one.
60. Ready to require 100.
Yeah, frustration for Suzuki. He's played some good stuff, but hasn't taken the chances when they've really mattered.
190.
95 average, despite 18 missed starts at double. Scoring A, finishing C-.
Yeah. So Suzuki looking to just bring himself down here. Peter Wright, who has missed this double in the match already on 2 occasions, but this time it's for the match.
Game.
An emphatic way to win in the end for Peter Wright. Job done. He was given a real run by Toru Suzuki, who enjoyed himself, put up a good show. The man from Japan, but it is Peter Wright who goes through with a 6-3 win. And he'll play Rob Cross next here in the quarterfinals of the Bahrain Dance Masters. Don't go anywhere. The new